who got his start covering politics in the Commonwealth. Now the founder of Axios joins us now. Good to see you, Mike. Appreciate it. Is there a message from Democrats other than Youngkin equals Trump, Trump is bad, don't vote for Youngkin?
Well, I can tell you, Leland, there's a big message coming from this race. And first of all, I'm jealous down there with the University of Richmond Spiders. I lived for 10 years in Richmond, working for the Richmond Times-Dispatch, and I've enjoyed your coverage from across the Commonwealth. And Leland, you put your finger on it in your lead-up piece. Life is about moments. Politics is about moments. And a lot of times in a race, when we're saying, why did it turn? What happened? We'll say, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Not here. Here, there was a clear change in momentum in this race around that moment when, in 10-ish words, Terry McAuliffe said in a debate in late September that parents shouldn't tell schools what to do. Now, if you watch the whole clip, a longer clip when he's talking about banning books, it's much less controversial. But what happened? Right away, the Youngkin campaign seized on it, put it in a spot, began using it relentlessly, and Terry McAuliffe didn't respond. And I talked to Democrats around the Commonwealth. They're very concerned. Democrats will tell you that Youngkin has big momentum tonight, and it's all about that moment, Leland.
Yeah, you almost wonder if Terry McAuliffe could have it back, would he? You put this graphic at the very top of your Axios morning note, talking about Loudoun County. You called it ground zero, and the graphic shows the margin of victory in Virginia gubernatorial and presidential elections in Loudoun County. The spelling error is ours, not yours. Why is Loudoun ground zero? What does the graph tell us?
Yeah, so you mentioned it's about, if it's 30 miles, it's 40 or 50 minutes outside D.C. Used to be very sleepy, but its population has doubled over the last decade or so. It's all about tech voters who've moved in. And the reason that we're watching that is two things.
You got to speak up.
One is just the demographic patterns you'd watch anyway. It's those areas beyond the suburbs that make such a difference in statewide and national races. But also, and you hinted at this in your lead-up package, it also has become ground zero in some of these school debates on NewsNation and elsewhere. We've seen the video from school board meetings, debates about masks, debate about instruction, about race. All of that has been happening in Loudoun. So, Leland, even if Youngkin were to win, we expect him to be behind in Loudoun, but it's how much can he close that gap that you showed in that graphic. Democrats have been picking up a lot of steam in Loudoun. He's clearly stopped that. How much can we pull back? So tomorrow night, we'll be watching Loudoun not only to see where the results are going, but also help explain the outcome.
Yeah, you think about the suburban women who may not have liked Donald Trump's style, but also don't like critical race theory and transgender bathrooms. Looming over all of this, Mike, and you've touched on this so many times, is President Trump. Listen to what Glenn Youngkin had to say when I asked him about the former president. You said rightly that a lot of this energy is from anger about President Biden. If President Trump had won re-election in 2020 and was president today, would you have a chance in a Biden plus 10 state?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea. What I do know right now, is we're watching something really special happen. And we're watching something special happen because, again, it is this spirit, and I talk about it. It's the spirit of Washington and Jefferson and Madison and Monroe, Patrick Henry, across this Commonwealth.
All right. Youngkin refuses to say President Trump's name. Mike, if Youngkin wins, despite not embracing Trump, does this prove that the emperor of the Republican Party has no clothes?
What this is showing, Leland, is a new way for Republicans to win in a Trump universe. So there's no question that Donald Trump is going to be out there for a good long time. He's going to remain the most powerful person in the party. But you get a purple state like Virginia where you can't embrace him. So what are you going to do? Glenn Youngkin has found that formula on Saturday, one of my Axios DC colleagues was with Glenn Youngkin at a farmer's market up here in Alexandria, very blue state. It was very blue area. He drew such a crowd that they'd fallen out in the street and were stopping traffic. Momentum you can't buy. And so what has he done? Exactly what you saw there. He didn't even reference him. He just moved on to his little patriotic litany there. And Peggy Noonan in the Wall Street Journal captured this perfectly. She said the Youngkin formula, which other Republicans in purple states or tough states can use, is don't insult Donald Trump, but keep him as far away as possible. Glenn Youngkin has nailed that. And Leland, another sign of how this race looks, a statement today from former President Trump, obviously thinks Glenn Youngkin is going to win, saying nice things about Youngkin, clearly setting the table for being able to take credit for the win. So you had the unusual situation of Donald Trump sucking up to another Republican. You don't get that very often, Leland.
That would be an understatement, my friend. Good to see you. We'll talk tomorrow night.
Thanks for your coverage.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.